Welcome to Sports News Review, NFL News with Sylvester. We'll start with Thursday night's game. The Carolina Panthers went to Chicago, but they lost to the Chicago Bears. The final score was Carolina 13, Chicago 16. With that loss, the Panthers are now only 1 win, 8 losses. And with that win, Chicago Bears are now got 3 wins with 7 losses. For Sunday, the Carolina Panthers, will be facing off with the Dallas Cowboys. And also on Sunday, the next game for the Chicago Bears will be the Detroit Lions. Minnesota Vikings make 3 roster moves, including designating Justin Jefferson to return. Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson could be scheduled to return. On Monday night, the Buffalo Bills played the Denver Broncos, but the Bills' Von Miller is not seeking revenge against the Broncos this Monday because he says, in quotes, "I left on good terms." Von Miller left Denver 2.5 seasons ago, but Monday night marks the first time he'll face the Broncos, a team he helped lead for a decade plus. Denver traded Miller to the Rams midway through the 2021 season, and he went to win Super Bowl 56 with Los Angeles. The edge rusher then signed with Buffalo in March of 2022. Ahead of the primetime matchup between the Bills and Broncos, Miller said he has nothing but positive thoughts regarding his former club. It also said, "It'll be different for sure, but it's not like it's a revenge game or anything like that for me. I left on good terms, left and went to go win a Super Bowl. I had a great relationship with everybody in the facility. Didn't have any bad blood with anybody in there." Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray is back, and he's not planning to take things slowly. Kyler Murray is expected to take the field at State Farm Stadium for the first time since tearing the ACL in his right knee 11 months ago. The Cardinals would be wise to take a cautious approach to how Murray is used in his first game action, which means leaning on the running game Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, using play action passes to create some clean throwing lanes down the field and limiting designated runs. We've got to be willing to understand that it might not look like Kyler, Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon said when asked this week about his expectations for Murray. And then he said, and I think he has a good explanation of that. The coaches have a good expectation of that, but I know this: he's going to come out there, play his game, and help us win. The slumping Bills offense calls players only meeting ahead of game versus Broncos. The rut the Buffalo Bills find themselves in has grown so deep. Running back Latavius Murray called an offensive players-only meeting to remind his teammates that just how much talent is on Buffalo's roster. Quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, vows to be smart with the ball after a 3-game skid. Brock Purdy hasn't had much to apologize for since taking over as starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers late last season. But after a second straight two-interception game sent the Niners to their third straight loss, Purdy took the chance in a post-game meeting to own up to his mistakes. Purdy said, "I just wanted the team to know and hear from my own mouth, face to face, like I got to be better," Purdy said. Thursday, "I own up to the mistakes." He also said, "I own up to the mistakes that I have made at certain points in the game. I have to be smart with the ball. The, the quarterback is one of the most trusted guys in the organization because we get the ball in our hands every play to make a decision. So just owning up to that and understanding that I have to be better." Purdy's storybook start to his career that took him from the last pick in the draft to the starting quarterback for one of the top teams in the league in a matter of months hit its first obstacle in recent weeks. He had won his first 10 regular season starts with the 49ers, with 13-0 when he played at least 3 quarters before a recent slump. Upbeat Bill Belichick hopes trip to Frankfurt can spur Patriots to improve against Colts. Despite the Patriots' 2-7 slump, coach Bill Belichick was in an unusually upbeat mood Friday as he hoped his New England team could enjoy the experience of playing against the Indianapolis Colts in Germany. Belichick and the Patriots have a 3-0 all-time record in regular season international games, the last in 2017. "We haven't played in Germany. The team is coming off a 2017 loss to the Washington Commanders last week," Bill Belichick said. "We play a lot of NFL games, and this is one that will be a little bit different, just like Mexico City and London were," Belichick said. "It's a good opportunity for our team. We just make the most of it and enjoy it. Obviously, focusing on playing well, regaining our focus and preparation here. The next couple of days, go out there and hopefully play our best game of the year on Sunday. That's our goal." That's what Bill Belichick said. The Patriots are looking for the first win outside their division this season as they play the Colts, who are the 4-5 Colts. New England's dismal start this year is the franchise worst since Belichick's first season with the team in 2000. Dallas Cowboys receiver CeeDee Lamb goes off for Cowboys after sounding off about getting the ball. CeeDee Lamb says he doesn't think that the best stretch of his career happens without the Dallas receiver sounding off about his limited role in the blowout loss to San Francisco that preceded it. Dak Prescott doesn't want to downplay the conversations that grew out of that humbling day in California, but says the way that the 42-10 loss played out was just different. Coach Mike McCarthy tends to agree with his quarterback on whether Lamb's current run of 3 consecutive 100-yard games was sparked by the visible frustration from Lamb against the Niners. "It's a great story, but I think he played the way last year, in my opinion," Coach McCarthy said. And he also said, "Everybody is frustrated, and I appreciate those conversations. I don't know if I'd say it's a catalyst. I'd say it's a reminder of what he can do with the ball." Bryce Young takes blame as Carolina offense sputters again in 16-13 loss to Chicago. Bryce Young, quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, repeatedly said he needed to play better. Carolina's coach Frank Wright said he needed to do a better job. It was the same message from Chuba Hubbard and Terrace Marshall. Following another Fanatic offensive performance, it's clear the Panthers know their offense isn't playing well enough to win, but still, nothing has changed. Carolina was shut down by Chicago in a 16-13 loss Thursday night, finishing with a season low 213 yards and 12 first downs. The Panthers went 3 for 15 on third down and failed to score an offensive touchdown for the second time in the first 9 games this season. Detroit Lions' Sam Laporta is crushing expectations and changing the game for young tight ends. Sam Laporta is the only tight end in NFL history to log 3 or more receptions and 35 or more receiving yards in each of his first 8 career games. His 4 receiving touchdowns are already the third most by a Lions rookie tight end, and there are still 9 games left. Laporta is the highest grade rookie tight end this season. Under the bright lights of the first Monday night game in Detroit since 2018, Laporta had 8 receptions for 57 yards and a touchdown. He broke Mike Ditka's record for most receptions by a tight end through their first 4 games with 22. Laporta grew up in Highland, Illinois, a town in the southern part of the state closer to St. Louis than Chicago. With a population of just under 10,000, there Laporta was a 4-year letterman in football as a wide receiver and defensive back at Highland High School. He ranks second in Illinois' high school history in receiving touchdowns and third in receiving yards. Laporta also earned 4 letters in basketball and 2 in track. Coach Ferentz says, you just know what kind of player that you're getting. Detroit general manager Brad Holmes said after drafting Laporta in the second round of the 2023 NFL draft, they just happened to produce some really good football players. The Jacksonville Jaguars will induct inaugural coach Tom Coughlin in franchise's Ring of Honor next season. Tom Coughlin, the first coach in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars, will be inducted into the franchise's Ring of Honor next season. The team made the announcement Thursday, saying Coughlin will become the 7th member of the Pride of the Jaguars during a yet-to-be-determined home game in 2024 next season. This will be Jacksonville's 30th season as an NFL franchise. Coughlin is 77, and he is the winningest coach in franchise history. He went 72-64 over 8 seasons and led the Jaguars to the AFC title game in 1996 and 1999. He was fired December 2002 after a third consecutive losing season that obscured his resounding early success with the franchise. As the Atlanta Falcons struggle to score, Coach Arthur Smith wants to be more lethal near the goal line. The Falcons are only a game out of first in the NFC South, but they've also lost 5 of their last 7 games. And Arthur Smith is facing questions about why he doesn't use his best players in crucial situations around the goal line. Atlanta had a first and goal at the 1 in Sunday's loss to the Vikings. So Atlanta was on Minnesota's 1-yard line and had to settle for a short field goal, and what ended up as a 3-point loss. For the season, the Falcons ranked 29th out of 32 teams in their success in goal-to-goal opportunities, converting just 53% into touchdowns. They were 27th last year and 31st the year before, with better conversion rates both times. So it's a common theme in Smith's 3 seasons in Atlanta. Stranger still, the Falcons have had 18 offensive plays inside the 5-yard line in 2023, and running back Bijan Robinson, number 8 overall draft pick this year, on pace for 1,348 yards of total offense, has had only one touch in those 18. Receiver Drake London, last year's first rounder, has 2. And tight end Kyle Pitts, the number 4 pick in 2021, has 1. So Smith spent 5 minutes Wednesday talking about the nuance and context of his goal line play calling, and the general theme was acknowledging it's an area in which the team needs to improve if the Falcons want to win consistently. Said Coach Arthur Smith, when you haven't got the results you want, you should be criticized. You've got to look up you got to look at things that didn't work, why you did something, what your intent is. So why is the value? Oh, so why is the result? Sorry, I read that wrong. So what is the result? Why is the result? You have to look at your mistakes and your failures and say, this was our intent, and what we're thinking about, and I do objectively fix that. That's where you need to be really honest. That's the only way to improve. The Falcons have put 3 straight top 10 draft picks in their offense ranking, taking Robinson, London, and Pitts, and that creates optimism, and that's the side of the ball. Atlanta ranks 11th in total offense, but ranks just 25th in points per game, which would point to some level of inefficiency, especially near the goal line. Some of that was quarterback Desmond Ridder, totaling 12 turnovers, and Smith has made the switch to Tyler Heineke, who will make his second start this season Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals, who are 1-8. New Orleans Saints are celebrating Taysom Hill's historic versatility and ever-evolving role. Taysom Hill's teammates and coaches in New Orleans don't envision other NFL teams emulating the unusual way the Saints have deployed their backup quarterback. There are reasons they say that Hill is the first NFL player in more than half a century to have 10 or more touchdowns running, receiving, and passing. There's not a lot of guys built to do the things he was able to do. I mean, there's just not, Saints coach Dennis Allen said this week. There's been a lot of guys that are fast and athletic, but to have the combination of size, speed, and athleticism and power, it's unique, says Coach Dennis Allen. Well, this week, the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, asked for elements of the 6'2", 221-pound Hills uniform from last Sunday's game to put on display. That's when Hill caught his 10th career touchdown reception and later threw his 11th career touchdown pass. He has 26 career touchdowns rushing. The Saints are sending a ball from the game, the play sheet Hill wore on his wrist, and one of Hill's gloves. Just 3 other players in NFL history, Red Grange, Charlie Trippi and Frank Gifford have double-digit touchdowns rushing, passing, and receiving, according to StatMuse. Gifford, the youngest of the three, retired after the 1964 season. All three were inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This week, the 33-year-old Hill is preparing to play against the Minnesota Vikings, who are trying to figure out how to best respond to his presence at various spots on the field. He's Byron Murphy, Minnesota Vikings defensive back, said he's kind of all around the field. And he notes that Hill often runs when he lines up at quarterback. He's always a threat to pass, just a playmaker, I'd say. He's just a guy that goes out there and plays football. The Saints embraced player versatility under former coach Sean Payton, who was Hill's first coach in New Orleans in 2017. This has continued under Allen, a longtime Saints assistant, succeeding Payton. This season, the Saints also began using the 324-pound defensive tackle Kaheem Saunders as a running back in short yardage situation. Last Sunday against Chicago, the Saints subbed Hill in for starter Derek Carr for a short pass play that was designated to go to Saunders in the right flat. Both Saunders attracted two defenders, so Hill looked for his tight end, Foster Moreau, who was also double covered along the goal line, before finding fellow tight end Juwan Johnson over the middle in the back of the end zone. To Sanders, Hill's ability to play quarterback sets him apart from the other strong, fast players in the NFL who take on multiple roles. This concludes our portion of NFL news with Sylvester. So, Sports News Review and Sylvester are saying goodbye. This has been NFL News with Sylvester, and we are over and out.